Hi, welcome to From Our View. I like to always remind everyone I'm the youngest in the From Our View, and there's like the others are significantly older. And we're going to talk today about emotions, and I would think that they probably have worse emotions, but they can talk to you about that later. Joking. Emotions. We all have them. I grew up kind of fighting them, but actually they're just there, maybe just as little signals. And recently, just as an example of how we use in our house Young Living essential oils for emotions, one of our daughter's classmates took his life. And obviously that's profoundly traumatic. For 4 days solid, she used Release. This is what we use all of the time. Sacred frankincense. Sacred frankincense comes from Oman. Young Living is the only company that has access to those frankincense trees. And literally for me, it's all things calming. It just brings everything that's crazy and just lets me be present in the moment. Release does exactly what it says. It's just kind of like if the weight of the world is right here, it lets it go. White Angelica is meant for taking the bad feelings that others have around you and kind of a block between you and them. So whenever we've recently experienced tragedy, we had our daughter and us cover ourselves in White Angelica so that we get to feel the grief and the sadness, but not take on everyone else's pain as well. Valor. This is what we used the first day we got out after the incident. So yes, this is kind of a dramatic incident, I suppose, but it's real life. And so Valor just kind of gives you the extra boost to move on, or move forward. Maybe not move on, but move forward. I use this before I do any filming. I use this before I make any phone calls because they make me nervous. I use this if I'm going to talk into a group. So oils, when distilled and produced in their purest form, like Young Living does, lets it literally, the molecules get past the blood-brain barrier. So it gets all the way through, gets into our limbic system, gets into our olfactory system, gets into all the systems of the body. And those smells, literally just those smells, just the inhalation of Release, and then exhale, actually gets all the way through my body, all the way into my brain. It's kind of like when you walk outside and you smell the roses. This is literally bringing the outdoors indoor because all of our oils are produced from plants. So oils for emotions are crucial. We use them for all things trauma. We use them for all things just joy. My son said today, I just want joy diffused in the house. So we literally think often and consistently about our emotions. These are oils that I use, and these are emotional oils from my view.
Let's talk emotions for just a minute. I want to show you some oils. Now, there are a lot of factors that have to do with emotions. We all know that. There's so many physical things that have to do with it. But right now, I just want to give you some quick tips on essential oils that help the emotions. Now, my all-time favorite, everybody that knows me knows my all-time favorite is rose. Rose oil, I open and I smell. And I just smell and I just stand and smell. I don't usually put it on me because it's really fast to affect my emotions if I just smell the oil. The molecules immediately start working on me and I love it. So rose oil is my favorite. Most people don't own rose oil because it's one of the more costly ones. Once you buy it, you'll have it for years, so it's really a great value. But if you don't have rose oil, check your other blends and see if rose is in them, because rose is in many of our blends like joy. So if you have joy oil, then you have rose oil. So just open it and smell it. It's just a great tool. Now, this is one that is really inexpensive, and it is orange oil. The citrus oils are great for emotions. So I diffuse this a lot. I diffuse orange oil probably more than any other oil. because I put it in whatever I'm diffusing. If I'm diffusing thieves, I usually have orange oil. If I'm diffusing Christmas spirit, I usually have orange oil. If I'm diffusing any of the pine or woodsy smells, they usually have orange oil. I just drop 3 or 4 drops in my diffuser with the others, and this is uplifting. All the citrus oils, the grapefruit, any of them, they just are uplifting. So use your oils and just see what makes a difference for you.
Emotions, well, let's see, they can have a bad connotation or a good connotation depending on what the state of your emotions might be. I typically think of emotions as being something that when I'm a little bit crazy, right? Like I'm a little bit out of sorts and life is not controllable, and then I get just a little bit crazy, right? Well, I mean, emotions are all different things. But today I want to talk to you about how I keep those emotions more balanced and more in check, and some of my favorite oils for doing that. Okay, so first of all, Tranquil. Tranquil roll-on is phenomenal. It has lavender and cedar wood and Roman chamomile in it. It's super easy to apply because it's already got the roller bottle on it, and I like to use roller bottles because, let's face it, unscrew it, roll it on. I put it behind my neck, put it across the top of my head. I put it on my wrist. I rub it in. You can put it on your inner ankles because that's where our reproductive Vitaflex points are. And a lot of times our emotions are crazy and out of whack because our hormones are crazy and out of whack. So I just rub that in. It smells amazing. So another roll-on that I'm absolutely in love with is Calm CBD. You guys, I love it so much that I keep it in a little pouch on my key ring. It goes with me everywhere. I'm gonna roll that on top of that Tranquil, and boy, howdy, I'm just gonna float right out of here. But I just get it on me, get it all over me. So Calm CBD, it's our CBD from Nature's Ultra, which is totally vetted, which is what you want to have. You want to have a CBD that has got much of a seed to seal as our essential oils and all of our other products from Young Living. So this is a company that Young Living fully vetted. They made sure that they were going to give us the same quality that all of our other products have, and now it's part of Young Living. Nature's Ultra is part of Young Living. And it also has some essential oils in it also, which is really great because it makes the CBD really more effective and it helps to absorb it better. Okay, 2 more. So the other one is Joy. Joy is not my favorite smell, actually. I'm more of an earthy, patchouli, kind of woodsy, scented girl. But there's something about Joy when I don't have my joy that really helps me have my joy. On days when I want to lose my joy, it helps me keep my joy. And so Joy is a blend of oils. It's the main smell that I smell in it is ylang-ylang, which is that florally smell. But I know when, even though I don't like the smell of it, I know that when I use it, it's going to really help me. It's really going to help my heart be at peace. And if it's not a roller bottle and I have it like this in a bottle, I can just take it off and just inhale it straight out of the bottle. Is there anybody else who cannot breathe in oils with their eyes open? Like, it's such an emotional, powerful thing to breathe in these oils. I have to close my eyes every single time. It's like just secondary nature. And so I will put a drop or 2 in my hands. 1 is sufficient. Sometimes I like to go overboard, so there's 2. I just rub it around, wake up that oil, and then I smell it. And I will inhale it, and I will sit and inhale it, and I will sit and smell it in a quiet place, hopefully, until I just feel myself start to calm, and I start to feel happiness, and I start to feel joy. Yeah, it works. It works. Okay, the last one, and this is my favorite. Before you go crazy on this one and think there's no way I'll be able to afford this oil ever, 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 I just want you to consider what it's going to do for your body, okay? Rose. Rose is phenomenal. And yes, it's our most expensive oil. It is our most costly oil because it is precious. And you will be able to see right down here how many rose petals it takes to make a bottle of rose. And then think about how much it costs for you to buy a dozen roses, right? So compare it to that. So what I do with roses, I do that. I just turn it upside down. Oh boy, and I get a drop on my fingers. I usually rub it together, and then I rub it all over my ears and all the way up my ears, my earlobes. And there's just something about all of those VitaFlex points that are in your ears that really help this oil to get down to the cellular level and just to absorb into your skin and really do what it needs to do for you. That's all it takes. I have had 2 bottles of rose in my entire almost 12 years with Young Living, and I've made them last. So it is an investment for you. It is not something I use every single day. It is something I use when I really need it. But it is something that I could not imagine not having in my arsenal. Those are emotions from my view.